Maxwell certified speaker, coach, trainer, and DISC consultant. Dr. Tulu is the host of the Solution Illuminator series podcast and the author of the book Stay in Your Lane. Let's welcome Tulu.
Have you ever made some errors that you felt you couldn't forget? You kept remembering them over and over again? Anybody? Yeah, a couple of people. I've made a couple of that. Mine was networking errors at a particular conference. I made it one after the other. 1, 2, 3. It was almost like the popular song by Christina Aguilera, I Put a Spell on You, was the song of the day for me. Based on the Toastmasters International Communication Skills Scoring Guide, my style is initiating communicator. That means that when I'm in a conference, I have a predilection to approach a couple of people that I found very interesting and start talking to them. But I didn't just get like that overnight. When I was very small, I was a very shy kid, a little bit afraid to talk to people. But when I discovered that personal and professional growth depends on networking, I discovered that I have to make that transition from being an introvert to something I can almost call semi-extrovert. I wouldn't call myself an extrovert yet. But over time, I got overconfident, and this actually came up in this particular conference that I attended. I approached one of the attendees. I didn't ask for the name. I just said, "Who's it?" And the name was actually Okay. I meant I did it wrong at that point. I was like, okay, how do I mend this? I discovered that people's name is actually the sweetest thing to their ears. Because I could feel the tension in the room. I could almost touch the tension like I'm touching this table. When that happened, I was like, oh, what can I do to bring the mood back on? I have to do something, right? Because this is a networking environment. All eyes on me. I said, well, maybe I can try a joke. I'm not as good as JJ, but I can do something, right? I said, well, I'm actually thinking about this. You said you were born in America. That means you can't really claim you're a Nigerian, right? I thought, well, that can just gonna break the ice and just gonna make the person want to talk. I was wrong. I was wrong. I discovered that people respond to jokes differently. And I quickly discovered that in that situation, I should have worked with self-deprecating humor, not humor projecting on the other person. Well, at that point, I was like, well, that didn't work. What can I do again? This is scary. I remember I'm a Toastmaster. We always talk about icebreaker question, right? Let me try this. I look at the name of the person. It was very similar to the name of the author that I had when I was in high school. I read a book in high school. The person was very popular. Everybody can agree that the textbook really helped as a science student growing up in Nigeria. I was like, yeah, this is no-brainer, right? I can do this. I said, well, since your last name is this, and your last name is the same as this person, are you related to this person? I thought, well, that's gonna do it for me. Well, the person gave me an angry look. I was like, well, nothing works today. I guess the Christina Aguilera song is still on. And there's nothing I can do about it. While that was going on, the person got disinterested and they were just looking at their phone. Just scrolling through while I was in their front. I thought for a second, how dare you do that? I thought I could have just take their hand and give them a handshake and walk away. But I didn't do that. Because that would have been my fourth mistake. I might have gotten a punch on my face, and I don't think anybody wants a punch. So I said, well, it was nice talking to you. I'll see you later. When I left, I started reflecting on the things that I did wrongly and things that I could have done differently next time. I thought about the first instance that I approached a person. One thing I would do differently, even though I'm an initiating communicator, I could have still asked for the person's name, just to confirm. Because sometimes you know someone's name, but you don't know the pronunciation of the name. That's one thing I could have done differently. The second thing I could have done differently is to not do that kind of joke that I did. I thought that was going to just break the ice, but it didn't. Because I discovered that self-deprecating humor is better. And the joke is always funny if it's not about you. Anyways, I could have stayed away from that. The third thing that I did was asking the question. That I would let me know thought that was going to go wrong. Because I'm like, yeah, this is going to go right because I can make this up, right? The last name are the same, right? And I didn't create this name. So I was just trying to say, well, is there a connection? Well, I discovered that maybe people just don't care for things like that. Maybe because the person is not so popular and so rich. Maybe because they're not the most famous person. They don't want to be associated with such name. That's the only explanation that I can have for that. But then, for you guys here, think about your own communication style. Be it the direct, analytical, or supportive. You can also learn from my own mistake as initiating communicator. We should try to adapt to the communication of the person that we're talking to. Try to think about creating a welcoming environment that is not too deep. Do not assume like I did. Don't ask questions that are too in-depth. Maybe ask questions about what is going on in a conference, what is going on around. Even if it's a light, is this a blue light or white light? People like kind of basic question like that. That is about the environment and not about them. And keep it simple and basic. Next time you're networking, remember, don't make the mistake that I make. Be better. Thank you.